Welcome everybody. Today's video finds us over here in Athens, Greece. And we got up this morning, jumped on the metro, and we came over here. We're not too far away from the Acropolis, but we're a little bit a ways away from it. Easy to get to by the metro system. But we're going to take a look at an old site that dates back to like the 1200 BC. This used to be like a cemetery. It also used to be, back whenever it was the Roman era, this used to be like the ceramics area. So that's actually where we derive the word ceramics from, is from this site. This is Kerameikos or something like that. Anyway, we're going to walk through here. There's some of the old city walls, and they've been doing excavations over here many times. They found some really important artifacts and all of that from it. But anyway, there's a museum and a few other things that we should be able to see. So let's walk through here and take a look. This is the site down here, and it's supposed to have some really cool arches and the old city wall and a few other things to look at. And there's a modern Greek church sitting right on the hill right above it. They haven't excavated a lot of it. It's still ongoing. They've been excavating many times. I think they found like a 2.1 meter statue of a famous Greek god in here, and that's in one of the museums. The area is just normal Athens. There's a lot of graffiti and stuff like that. They tag everything, and you can see some of the houses back over that way, and this is where the metro comes. So we're going to walk down through here and enjoy it. Now the entrance fee is €8, but you can do it as part of the multi-package if you buy the Acropolis package. That lets you into 7 different sites. Here is the place where he'll scan the tickets, and you can buy them over here. And it is open from 8 until I think 6:15 or so. So just give you an idea where we're at. We're over here, and this is the Acropolis. And then there's a couple other small sites. I think this one here is like where Plato or somebody did some of the things out here. And that's kind of a rough map of the city. When you first come in, right here on the left is the little museum. So they have some of the replicas over here of items that they found. The rest of them will be stored somewhere. So these are all things that were found here among the grave sites. You have the mosaic that was from a scene from the Pompeian. I'm not sure what that is. This is kind of a rare sculpture of like a hound, a Eleusinian hound. And then you have other things here. Yeah, this used to be like an old grave site back in like 1200 BC. But as the area advanced, they started building more and more intricate grave sites. And that was kind of right outside of the pottery quarter what this area, I guess, was known for. But these would have been maybe like a sculpture of the deceased girl here, and it was the family around her, just various things. Okay, let's see what it looks like in here. Some old marble columns and stuff. So they have little data plates in Greek with a little bit of English on it. And you can see the little bit of the patterns and stuff like that in the stucco they put on. Yeah, pretty cool. Check this out. This is a sphinx that was on the top of a stele at a funeral site. This dates back to like 550 BC. Oh, that is fantastic. And check out this. This is a gate lion, and this dates back to 590 BC. So this is a Ionic gate capital. So you can see the swirls right there for the Ionic column tops, and another sphinx. So this one here is around 590 BC, and it used to have paint. They said there was traces of the original paint whenever they dug it up. And this was from one of the sacred gates. And this was from 590 BC. And they have a little thing showing whenever they found it, they dug it up, and then they used a little crane to hoist it out. And the sphinx and everything else. That's fantastic. Check out this stone bowl here. The carving is fantastic. And this is from around 345 to 340 BC. And it was an important treasurer that had this made whenever he died. I mean, they carved the hooves, they carved everything. It's really, really amazing. So this is an inscribed base. It had a seated figure probably up on top here. It's like, here I stand, fraught with grief, sorrow, and lamentation. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. This is kind of a cool carving here. So they have a young guy from Athens here, and he was killed fighting the Spartans, but he died at age 20. But in the carving, it shows him riding his horse and killing the Spartan. That's kind of interesting. So he was the victor whenever ultimately he was killed, and it has the little inscription down here. So all these were found on all these graves and stuff here. Just what a real treasure trove this is. So this is one of the last stone inscriptions before they passed a law prohibiting these just elaborate like tomb monuments. But this one here goes back to like 325 BC, and this is a relief of Demetra and Pamphile. But you can see the intricate carvings. This is unbelievable. So you can see the folds in the robe, what they carved here. That is fantastic. And it has like a little sphinx on the side of the chair. That is unbelievable. So they would have had to have been very, very wealthy to hire out something like this to be made for their gravesite. Then we have a lot of pottery and all the tools and stuff here. So we'll spend some more time here in this museum, and then we'll go out and we'll walk around the ruins. This might be a long video, so I apologize. This is really a little treat here. Seeing 2,500-year-old pottery and stone inscriptions and everything else. It's just absolutely beautiful. So you have things like this. So these are some rings. These little like coiled up pieces of gold. They put that, it was a hairband. They'd put it on their hair. And this is a little flask. The craftsmanship of this pottery is unbelievable. And this is a little 3-footed vase here. And they're just all through here from, this is like 11th century BC, some of this. Just unbelievably old. That is fantastic right there. So it's a clay box, and it has like a conical foot is what it says. Now hopefully you'll be able to see this through the reflection in the glass. So this is a pot from 740 BC. And it has, check out this gold reef. Oh, it's fantastic. They have just so many little treasures here. You have earrings, bracelets, rings. Really unbelievable. All right, so let's go out into the ruin now. So these are like the coffins, part of the graveyard. So this whole hillside would have been covered with all that stuff that's in the museum. Yeah, I find it interesting that they had to pass a law to keep the people from building stuff like this. They must have saw them as wasting too much money or something like that, but I don't know, the dead are entitled to a little bit of honor. And there's a lot more stuff just kind of scattered out amongst the trees. It's kind of hard to imagine if this was at one time a swampy area, and they came in and built all these walls, and it is what you see. And so they had all these, there would have been tops of the columns all through here. So all that stuff you see in the museum, like that bull that's up there, stuff like that would have been just all out here on all of these. And it would look just like this for the people passing by. Yeah, really cool. Looks like they're doing some work over here. Yeah, so all that stuff that's in the museum was found right out here. Really cool. You see that church over there, just a nice area. Yeah, they call this the Street of Tombs here. They don't know what the original name was of it. You can see all the coffins and everything that would have been all along the way. Okay, so this building doesn't look like much, but back when this was in use, this would have been a very, very important building. This is where the Athenians came over and they worshipped their common ancestors, and they called it the Tritopatrion. You get the word Patreon from patriarch, all of that from a lot of these Greek words. So you can see they're still doing some digging over here. And this is a cool site because you can wander out through the trees. They have a little bit of it cordoned off, but it's more open where you can kind of explore. Several of the other ruins I've been to here, you just kind of walk around and you look at it like you're looking at a museum. But here it's a little bit more hands-on. Check out that arch up there. I like these little trees and everything kind of out here through all of the ruins. And you see the old city wall, everything else here. Yeah, they called this right here the Sacred Way. And it was right next to, over here would have been the Eridanos River. And it was, I guess, a total of 20 kilometers long back whenever it was being used. You can see the buildings here with the drains, everything else. They were pretty advanced for the time. And just lots of buildings and stuff like that. We have a little bit of water running over here. They had a marble monument right here, right in front of the Sacred Gate. So the Sacred Gate would have been right here, I guess, and they had the little monument right here by it. So this right here, they call it the Thermastoclean Wall. And this was built around 493. It was after Athens was destroyed. They came back and they rebuilt the wall, and they ordered all the building material to be brought in. They tore buildings down, grave sites, and they just hauled them over here and they built it. And later on, after they lost the Peloponnesian War, or one of the battles in it, they were ordered to destroy the wall. And they say they destroyed the wall to the sound of flutes playing. And you can see the hasty construction of it. Different pieces they just brought in and stuck them in place with no real plan. I got this little guy here trucking along. Yeah, they have these little tortoises all through here. And this part over here of the ruins, this is the Ceramicus. This is where they did all the pottery making. So there was some kilns, everything else here. And there was also some places for the bronze smiths. And this is kind of what's remaining. There's a couple wells, everything else that are here. Kind of an interesting place. You can see one of the wells where they have the top covered. And then all the foundations here. Looks like the active dig sites right over there. Yeah, he was over here eating on some of the grass, and there he goes. You can see here where they carved all that marble and stone at the base of the wall. And this over here is a nice little arch. Let's take a look at it. You can see all the soil that's built up on it and how they've just dug down. You see foundation walls, you see drains, and all the Athens is just built up all around it. You can see where they used the marble, and then they made that perfect arch right over the top here. So this must have been the course of the river back in the day. And on this side, they still have the marble arch. You can see they supported it up over there to keep it from collapsing down. So we have two of those guys over here, at least, chewing on some of the grass. I've seen a lot of dogs and cats at all these old ruins, but I've never seen these tortoises. Yeah, you really can see the size of this old part of the city. And like I said, they haven't hardly excavated any of it. So you see the church is built over there, and they've stopped excavating up on the hill. And there was so much more. So I'm sure if they dig down from these houses, they'll find ruins like this. This right here, this is the road to Plato's Academy, where he taught people. And then you see some of these mounds. I guess these are some of the public tombs. They called them the Dēmósion Sēma, and so a lot of the prominent Athenians were buried here in graves. It doesn't look like they're excavating; they just have kind of the mounds of dirt. And then this would have went all along the road to Plato's Academy over here. Lots of little bits and pieces out everywhere here. Yeah, this is a treasure trove for all the archaeologists. The ruins are not in great condition, but you can still walk around and kind of use your imagination to see, think about what this looked like back whenever this was being used. And we do have one little random cat out here amongst the ruins. He's doing his thing. Yeah, this is a good look at the fortifications here. So these are the best preserved ones of the old fortifications of Athens. So there's about 200 meters or so of them here. Yeah, one last look around here. A lot of fun to come and explore this. There's quite a few people out here, more than I expected today. That'll finish up our video over here at this old site. This is really pretty cool. It's kind of hard to imagine, how old this is, 3,500 years old, stuff from just so far back. It's pretty cool to see if you're a history buff or you just enjoy stuff like this. This is definitely something you'd want to come over and see. The price of €8 is a bit steep, but it is worth it if you enjoy seeing all these old artifacts and everything. The museum to me was probably the highlight. It's really cool to read about it, and you get to see some of the really nice artifacts that they've dug up here. The rest of the ruins, it is what it is. It's down to the base, but you can walk around and you can see and appreciate the size of this dig site here. It's kind of cool. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, definitely smash the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, and you get to see more stuff. And leave me a comment if you know more about it. If you saw some things that were interesting, let me know. Or if you've been here, let me tell me what your thoughts were on it. And anyway, from over here in Athens, remember, life is a journey. Until next time, enjoy.